Friday morning. Your expectations for Saturday around the SEC. What do you have? Well, really, you have what is after, 3 or 4 weeks, Drew, of great must-see appointment watching games from all around the league. You kind of get a down week this week because, yes, you get Tennessee, Alabama at 6 o'clock, but Arkansas is taking on Arkansas Pine Bluff. You have Vanderbilt hosting Mississippi State. Texas A&M is hosting South Carolina. Your 2:30 game is Ole Miss taking on LSU. That is a good one to watch. But this week of SEC football is one of those weeks where if you have some yard work or you have some things to get done, I guess this is the week to go ahead and get it done because it's just kind of like an oh-hum type of week.
Yeah, a little bit. In the last several years, that's kind of how it's been because a lot of teams take byes this week and next. Alabama, as a matter of fact, will be on a bye. Auburn is this week. Auburn, of course, will take on Ole Miss next week, and that'll be one of the better games of the weekend, if not the showcase game. So, along with, Florida, Georgia, though. Florida, Georgia has lost some luster due to the Gators crashing and burning in Baton Rouge last week. So, but again, this week and next week the slate is going to be a little bit smaller. A lot of schools.
I'm looking at next week's schedule too already.
That's what it's a little bit smaller, not as the big game feel of some of the other weeks. But I will say a lot of these schools take their bye weeks either this week or next because of the last amen corner, so to speak, of the regular season in November. So they try to recharge their batteries. Alabama's done this before LSU many, many times, mainly because the Alabama-LSU game meant so much in the Western Division. Maybe not so much this year, even though still going to be ramifications because Alabama needs to win. But we'll see what happens with Ed Ogeron's crew. They certainly got a big win last week. What are they going to do on the road in Oxford during Ed's, farewell tour? We don't know. We'll see.
Next week, you mentioned you do get Georgia, Florida. Auburn will be hosting Ole Miss. Vanderbilt will host Missouri next week. And then I guess
riveting.
I guess one of the intriguing games next week, if you're looking at it, would be Mississippi State hosting Kentucky.
Well, yeah, I think so. That's a trap game for Kentucky because it's a road game. It's in Starkville. Mississippi State can be dangerous in these kind of situations. Kentucky has a chance to be a Big Six bowl participant. So that'll be one where the Wildcats are going to have to be, mentally prepared and not overlook Mississippi State because, as we've said, too, the West is so much stronger than the East. But that's a very winnable game for UK, depending on how they play on offense because we know UK is tough along the lines of scrimmage. We know defensively they're going to be solid. But, that's the thing about it is can that Kentucky offense sustain enough against Zach Arnett's D? Because I think the Mississippi State defense is better than people think. So that will be an under-the-radar, intriguing conference matchup.
All right. From the rest of college football on a national landscape, if you're looking at something tomorrow that you may want to pay attention to, 11 o'clock on CBS Sportsnet, the ACC's last remaining hope for a college football playoff berth, because I don't think they're getting a berth. I don't see Clemson getting one with 2 losses. But Wake Forest is still undefeated. They are 6-0, ranked 16th in the country. Would not have thought Wake Forest would be the last remaining hope for the ACC, but they are. They travel to Army. And it could all come tumbling down for the ACC tomorrow.
Yeah, it really could. It's they're at Muncie Stadium over there in New York, and Army's tough at home. Army nearly knocked off Wisconsin the other day, so they lost that game 20-14. They've hit a little bit of a rough patch, but Wake Forest has also had to escape against people like Louisville, so. This is, Dave Clawson's done a tremendous job and would probably be the ACC Coach of the Year. But wow, I mean, we'll see. And I think also this weekend is Pitt and Clemson. And it's the first time Clemson's been an ACC underdog in I don't know how many years.
3.5-point underdog is Clemson.
And I believe that's at Pitt, correct?
It is. 23rd ranked pick, by the way. They are 5. Pitt is 5-1, 2-0 in ACC play.
Yeah, somehow they lost to Western Michigan.
Like I said, Wake Forest is the last remaining hope.
I mean, and this wasn't row your boat gently down the stream, Western Michigan, but obviously they're still pretty good. But I mean, wow, they knocked off Pitt. So, but Pat Narduzzi, they've had a good year. They went to Tennessee and won early in the season. Kenny Pickett, their quarterback, is having an under-the-radar Heisman-type senior year. So that will be a big win for Pitt. And Pat Narduzzi and Pitt, they have knocked off Clemson before, remember, even during the days of Deshaun Watson.
If Dabo Swinney does not win this one, and that's 3 losses for Clemson, I mean, that's a little bit of that magic and that lust off of Clemson. There's been a lot of talk about Dabo each week, the fact that he does not like to use the transfer portal, does not go and does the transfer portal. And I think a lot of people then, if Dabo does not win this game, a lot of people are going to sit back and question whether or not he should go out and get some transfers. Is he going to have to adapt and change and do things a little bit differently if they don't win this ball game and Clemson has 3 losses? Or is it just an overreaction to Clemson just losing so much talent and everything finally catching up to them?
It's tough, man. I mean, when you lose as much talent early to the NFL, and then when you finally start losing coaches like Jeff Scott, eventually even with a program like Clemson and Dabo done such a great job of keeping his staff together, you're going to lose coaches. They're going to get opportunities if you continue to win at the level he was. That's what happened, and I think they've lost some luster on offense. Certainly, I think Brent Venables' defense is still formidable. Plus, they've had some injuries. Brian Brzee, I believe the defensive lineman's out for the year. Injuries, early NFL departures, coaching departures, that's what makes Nick Saban's run all the more remarkable because he's always having to retool. Now Dabo is having to do some of the same things, and it's not worked out as well. So, and he's also having to put up with distractions like having his name associated with LSU, though that amuses me. I don't see Dabo Swinney taking off for the Bayou.
All right, 256-576-4977. That's the number of the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Get in on the conversation this morning. Expectations, I guess you could say, for your SEC team, or expectations for Alabama and Tennessee tomorrow. How do you really see this one playing out? Is this one where Alabama jumps on Tennessee early and puts this one away early? Or does Tennessee come out? I mean, obviously they're going to come out fighting. Are they able to land a few punches on Alabama tomorrow early on before they kind of wear down?
I think Alabama dominates this game. I think it's 41-13. I think Tennessee's banged up. I think they're certainly a well-coached group, but if Alabama's focused and comes out and has attention to detail, I think they're going to handle the Vols. Certainly the biggest key is going to be if Tyrion Evans is in the lineup, Jabari Small. They've got to stop the run and slow Tennessee down. And then if Tennessee does move the ball effectively early, make them kick field goals. Don't allow Tennessee to finish drives in the end zone. And if that's the case, Alabama's going to win this game and win it comfortably. I like where Alabama is offensively, especially from a health standpoint. I think they're relatively healthy right now. Certainly, I don't anticipate anybody offensively missing this game. It sounds like Drew Sanders is definitely going to be out, but I think everyone expected that if you paid attention. He was going to be out until LSU. After the bye week, it'd probably be the earliest he would return from that, finger / thumb surgery.
Yeah.
Because he had ligament damage. So I think offensively Alabama. Mechie's coming off his best game, very effective. Now they have to get the tight ends back involved and get their confidence back up because you've got the November, amen corner coming up. But again, I think this Alabama team's in good shape. I think Bryce Young's playing at a high level. He's certainly near the top of the Heisman standings, and I think Alabama's going to take this game seriously. Certainly, you have to when you watch the way Tennessee played Ole Miss, when you've watched the way they've played, throughout the season against that Pitt team we just mentioned. I know they lost the game, but they certainly scored a lot of points in it. I think it was a 41-34 type game. So this is a very potent Tennessee, and that was with Joe Milton still starting. So Tennessee, even though I think that was the first extensive action of Hendon Hooker too. Hendon Hooker kind of rallied them a little bit. But regardless of who's behind center, Hendon Hooker or Milton, and I would expect Milton to be the QB, honestly. I think Alabama just needs to take care of business. It sounds like also they got some good news. I did say defensively they do have an injury or two. We've talked about DeMarco Hellens, but Byron Young got hurt his shoulder in the last game, missed some time against Mississippi State. But Coach Saban said he did practice this week, so there's a chance that he'll be in the rotation. I don't know if he'll start, but certainly if Alabama's got Byron Young, that will help their depth along the D-line. And, again, Tennessee's also banged up on the offensive line. Tennessee is pretty much banged up throughout their team. Now, if Tennessee had played this game earlier, which is never going to happen due to the schedule, but when they were healthier, I think this could have been a closer game. But it's about
because they could be without the Mays brothers along that offensive line, which is pretty big.
That's
a pretty
starting
big
center,
loss.
starting right tackle. So that's what I'm saying. They're just, as far as the timing of the Alabama-Tennessee game this year, it didn't help the Vols much because it's not like they're coming off of a bye, getting well. They've been really banged up, and I think that Ole Miss game took a lot out of them. And so while I think they'll play hard and compete, I still think Alabama eases away and wins the game comfortably.
All right, as we mentioned, Alabama does have a bye week next week. So Alabama fans, here's what you're going to want to do. Now, there is a cost to this, but you want to circle your calendars for October 30th and October 31st because the new name, image, and likeness deal are in place at Parkway Place Mall next weekend.
During the bye week.
During the bye week. On October 30th, Alabama fans, listen up. You can get now there is a cost to this, but you can get autographs from Jordan Battle and Josh Jobe from 12:30 to 1:45, followed by Brian Robinson Jr. from 1:45 to 3 o'clock. And then on Sunday, you can get autographs from Bryce Young along with Jaleel Billingsley and JoJo Earl beginning at 12 o'clock. Now, if you want tickets, we'll send out the site where you can go and get the tickets. Tickets can be purchased on site during the signings or online through Friday of the 29th of next week. If you're unable to make it, you can pre-order online and they'll send it to you. But again, on Saturday, you can get Jordan Battle and Josh Jobe, followed by Brian Robinson Jr., and then on Sunday, you get Bryce Young, Jaleel Billingsley, JoJo Earl. So that's going on over at Parkway Place Mall.
That is the new world because that's current players. A lot of times that didn't happen until they used up their eligibility. That's not the case now due to the name, image, and likeness. And so, and I actually like this because Alabama several years ago, there was the T-Town menswear controversy. Where they had to disassociate Tom Albertier, the owner of said business, because there was autographs, memorabilia in his store and in his windows, and then there was speculation about players signing stuff for him, and now that would be legal.
That's true.
And so you can do that, and I'm sure Mr. Albertier will probably be having some signings like that. But yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, the players make a lot of money for the university. It puts a little money in their pocket. The fans get a chance to see these players up close, get a chance to have some social interaction with them. and get an autographed item. So, yeah, I think it's a pretty cool situation.
All right, once again, that is next weekend at Parkway Place Mall.
Right.
And we'll put all that information out on our website, 977ESPN.com. Just head over there and we'll have the release for you to where you can check out where you can and how you can get these autographs next weekend. Let's get our first break in. When we come back, we have to talk the Atlanta Braves baseball. They had a chance to get to the World Series last night. Couldn't quite get it done, but we'll ask the question, was last night their best chance to get it done?
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
One wreck, Pulaski Pike and Maston Lake. I think it was a no injury, so it should move out of the way pretty quick. Everything else looks pretty good. Just lots of reports of fog this morning, especially east of Huntsville. If you got a long way to go, you're going to need some time. Officers, construction workers, and first responders put their lives on the line every time they step on the roadway. Why not make it safer for them? Move over. It's the law. Captain Nick in the North Parkway, Popeyes Skywatch Traffic Center.
Our latest zone deal is upon us. Log on to 977ESPN.com for Gunner's Landing. 2 rounds of golf for the price of 1, including a cart. Gunner's Landing is one of the Tennessee Valley's finest golf experiences. Just 35 minutes from downtown Huntsville, Gunner's Landing's 18-hole championship jewel is open to the public 7 days a week. Gunner's Landing offers you a golf experience like no other. Log on now, 977ESPN.com.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find them online at chapmancommercialrealty.com.
Have you ever found exactly the right new car or truck with the exact features that you want and nothing else? Well, at Woody Anderson Ford, we can promise you just that. Hey, Bobby White back again, and you can now factory order your new Ford today, and you'll get your new car or truck exactly the way you want it. And there's no extra cost to custom order. Plus, you get $1,000 off MSRP on top of any additional factory rebates. This applies to 2021 F-150, Explorer, Ranger, and Expedition. It's a win-win with a custom order at Woody Anderson Ford. You get the colors, the features, and the options that fit your life. Plus, you get notified when it's built, shipped, and ready to deliver. Listen, buying a new car or truck is likely the second largest investment you'll ever make. So why settle? Get exactly what you want with a custom factory order today. And get $1,000 off MSRP. See how at WoodyAndersonFord.com or at the corner of Jordan Lane and Sparkman Drive. Hope to see you soon.
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant Bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right, even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code BOOST for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST.
Explore the culture of craft at Liquor Express and Craft Beer Store, offering over 800 artisanal wines, 1,000 craft beers including 105 rotating taps, and an extensive array of spirits featuring highly collectible bourbons. Come enjoy our craft beer and whiskey bar featuring draft, wines by the glass, or specialty cocktails. Ask about party planning and discounts. Wine case deals are available. Check our social media for upcoming events. We strive to be the cleanest store in town. That Liquor Express and Craft Beer Store, 1812 University Drive, Huntsville.
Drinking coffee straight from the pot, power move. Wearing a bathrobe to work, power move. Switching to super fast, extra reliable internet from WOW, power move. Switch and save with WOW internet for just $19.99 a month. It's switching season, so make a move with our best deal of the year. For a limited time, get Internet 100 with no contracts for just $19.99 a month. Plus, get a 2-year price lock and the first month free. Make the switch at wowway.com today. Wow. Limited to new customers with auto pay and paperless billing. Offer subject to change. Restrictions and terms apply.
This is Paul Feinbaum. Listen to me coming up today at 2. Now back to Talking Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Welcome back to Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Once again, if you head to our Facebook page, our Twitter page at 977 ESPN, you can get all the information that you want about the Alabama Crimson Tide public autograph signing at Parkway Place Mall. Just head to our Twitter page and our Facebook page, and you can get all that information. Last night, the Atlanta Braves were up 3-1 in the series. They looked like everything was going their way. They had Max Fried on the mound last night, lining up for everything to go their way. The one thing they didn't count on was this.
The 2-2, Taylor with a fly ball to deep left center field. Chris Taylor has hit his 3rd home run of the night and becomes the 11th different player in baseball history with 3 home runs in a postseason game. Chris Taylor.
Didn't count on Chris Taylor having 3 home runs last night.
Nope. Freddie Freeman hit a first-inning homer. It was 2-0. It looked like Atlanta had gotten off to the start they wanted to. Quickly came apart. Max Fried did not have good stuff last night. He couldn't locate his fastball, and Chris Taylor killed the Braves from the 7th spot in the order. He hit 3 home runs, as you just mentioned, and the Braves fall flat 11-2 as they finish their road trip to Los Angeles in this series. Luckily for them, the series goes back to Atlanta. They still lead 3-2. Hopefully you just flush this performance and bounce back, much like they did when they lost 6-5 and shellacked the Dodgers 9-2 the next day. But again, the Braves, I still think they're in a good spot. They've got Ian Anderson and Charlie Morton left. Max Scherzer is going to pitch Game 6 for the Dodgers, but he's been having arm issues from the standpoint his arm was dead the last time he pitched. So I still think the Braves have had good success against him in the past, and he's certainly an outstanding pitcher, a Hall of Famer. But this Dodger team, we'll see if Taylor can continue to stay this hot. But certainly it was a disturbing performance, but you're still up 3-2 going back to your home ballpark, and so Atlanta's still got to like where they are here. They just need Ian Anderson to step it up and pitch well. I believe he's slated to be on the bump in Game 6. Charlie Morton would be waiting for a Game 7. Hopefully that won't be necessary, but we'll see. Hopefully the Braves are going to bounce back and swing the bats. They didn't swing the bats real well last night, and then now Jorge Soler is back, and he was cleared before this game yesterday, but was only used as a bench guy. I think that's what's going to be the case the rest of this series, but we'll see.
So last night
forward.
Was not their best chance to get to the World Series. They line up well in Game 6 and 7
to
get that
well
one
the last
win.
3. I mean, when you have Max Fried on the mound, you have to feel good. He's the NL Pitcher of the Month.
That's what I was saying. Was last night their best chance to?
Well, I mean, when you have 3 chances, it's called. that you better cash one of them in, and we don't want to see another collapse like we saw last year.
Yes.
Because if that happens, somebody should be on the firing line. So hopefully the Braves will step it up here. And I'm not talking about Snitger. I'm just saying that somebody's going to pay the price probably if they don't step it up and get another win. But, again, the Dodgers are the defending world champions. They're very talented, even though they're banged up. I still think this Atlanta team all year has shown a lot of resolve and guts, and I think they'll bounce back. You give the Dodgers credit. They weren't going to go down easy, especially in that home ballpark. And the Braves, I think, have lost 11 of their last 12 there.
Yes.
So they have been very, very difficult to beat in Dodger Stadium. So now you get to go home. The Braves have had raucous crowds. I think they're going to have another one. Hopefully you won't have to see a Game 7. But I still like the Braves' chances, and I think it's a 4 o'clock first pitch on Saturday. They get a day off to recharge here. But certainly, I think the Braves can bounce back.
Let's get out to the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Johnny on a cell joining us. Good morning, Johnny.
Morning, guys.
Morning, Johnny.
Couple of things. Dude, when did baseball become so soft that you don't dot Taylor in the 7th or 8th inning when he hit that third bomb? I mean, dude's leaning out over the plate. You just got to dot him. Bob Gibson would have dotted him after the first one. But, you just got to rear back and dot the dude.
Yeah.
You can't let a guy go up there and jump jack 3 on you. And I just don't. And if Martin comes into the game at any point in time in the rest of this series, you can count that as a loss.
Well,
that dude is worthless.
Well, I will tell you this, Johnny. I think the only reason he was put in the game last night was to try to keep it close. And what I mean by this is I don't think you'll see Chris Martin in a high-leverage situation when the Braves are leading. I think that was one of those things where Snicker's thinking, we're still in it. Let's see if he can keep us close. And if, he gets a crick in his neck, which he certainly did, then, we're going to lose this ball game. And luckily they've got 2 more chances, but hopefully they can close this out.
In one way, it's tougher to win a bullpen game than it is a game against a starting pitcher like Scherzer.
Right.
Every time you come to the plate, you got a different pitcher, a different 3. I would much rather see Scherzer in 5 or 6 innings and figure I'm going to get him than I would seeing a different guy every time into the lineup.
Right.
No, I can understand that. And last night's pace of play had to be a problem as well. What did it take, an hour, 2 hours to get through the first 2 innings?
I would also say that I would think that, our familiarity with Scherzer is the reason that, the Braves did exactly what they wanted to do, besides close them out. They took a game in Los Angeles, so they come back to Atlanta up 3-2. And it's not like we're in where we were last year where there's no fans. You're going to come back home, get some home cooking, and you're going to get a fan base that's going to be hungry, very hungry, to get these teams to the next game in the next series.
Yeah, and wasn't the NLCS last year, was it all in Arlington
Yes,
last year?
it was all at one place.
Yeah, so
right.
it's a completely different situation than it was last year.
Yeah, and I think we can what I like is that Scherzer and Buehler rely on 4-seam fastballs, and that's what Braves feast on.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we wrap them up.
Yeah, I agree, no doubt.
All right, Johnny, thanks for the call.
Thank you, guys.
256-576-4977. Talking a little Atlanta Braves baseball. The Braves still finding that elusive 1 win to get to the World Series, which would be their first pennant in 22 years. If they're able to do so, the table does set up nicely for them as they'll be home on Saturday for Game 6. And speaking of Game 6, tonight you do get the ALCS Game 6. Houston Astros at home against the Boston Red Sox. Astros lead that series 3-2. So Houston trying to stamp their ticket back to the World Series. Boston trying to force a Game 7.
Yes, they are. The Red Sox have had a rough go of it. The last really game in 1 inning, and that is, of course, as we said, the 9th inning of Game 4, and then Game 5 was extremely rough. But they've got a chance now. It's going to be on the road. It's going to be difficult in Houston. but they have a chance to bounce back and push this series to a 7th game if they can win tonight. We'll see. But the Astros and Dusty Baker are in a really good spot right now after taking 2 out of 3 in a really difficult place to play in Boston.
All right, plenty of high school football played last night here around North Alabama. The Russellville Golden Tigers played host to the Lee Generals last night. Russellville wins this one 49-14. This was a 21-14 game at the half. Russellville broke it open in the second half to get the win there. Priceville and West Limestone went to overtime, 56-50. The final in that one, Priceville gets the win. Brooks shuts out Wilson 47-0, and Mars Hill Bible over Tharptown 64-13.
Yeah, so Brooks 9-0 in the Shoals area. They've had a really good year, the Brooks Lions, and they'll be going for an unbeaten regular season next week against Lauderdale County, and Lauderdale County's had quite a special year as well. They're undefeated, so that if depending on, I think Lauderdale County plays tonight.
Yeah.
But depending on that result, that could be a battle of 9-0 teams next Friday.
Well, how about Priceville? 56-50 over West Limestone, a shootout.
Yeah, and we need to check the region standings there, but that's a big loss. The last 2 weeks have been difficult for West Limestone because that region's very competitive, and we'll have to see, what the playoff standings are.
I think that secured Priceville a first-round playoff game at home. I think that secured them second place in the region.
Yeah, they finished second behind unbeaten Brooks, no doubt. And then remember, West Morgan has a lot to play for as well because they nearly beat Brooks in the regular season.
And then Lee is already – I think Lee's into the playoffs. They are into the playoffs, even with the loss last night to Russellville. Lee stamps their ticket to the playoffs. They'll be, I think, a 3rd seed. Coming up this evening, May Jemison travels to Ardmore. May Jemison and Ardmore battling for a playoff spot. So we'll have to see how that one goes as well. Coming up tonight, you're going to be able to catch some high school football right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Madison Academy is going to be in action, as well as Huntsville on Zone 2. A big game tonight, though, Drew, for Huntsville, as you guys travel to Harvest and need a little help, but still have a chance to get into the playoffs.
Yep, Sparkman controls their own destiny. They win, they're in as the 4 seed from 7A Region 4. And Huntsville High, if they can upset Sparkman tonight, they certainly would just need a little bit of help from their friends, the Bob Jones Patriots, who are on the road at the Austin Black Bears and Jeremy Perkins. If Austin won that game and Huntsville wins, then because of the tiebreaker, Austin beating Huntsville 24-14 earlier in the year, the Austin Black Bears would be the 4th seed from 7A Region 4. Though, if Bob Jones defeats Austin on the road and Huntsville wins tonight, Huntsville would be the 4 seed from 7A Region 4. And, of course, all those 3 squads would be waiting on the winner of the Thompson-Hoover game in 7A Region 3. And that would be a fun matchup there. Is you have to play either result, whether it's Thompson, whether it's Hoover. I certainly favor Thompson in the game, but 2 of the better programs, not just in Alabama, but in the southeastern United States and even in the country. So it's going to be a very difficult matchup regardless of who you get. But, yeah, there's a lot of playoff scenarios going on right now. And I did just check those standings for 4A Region 8, and the West Morgan Rebels, our ESPN 97.7 The Zone Team of the Week. We were out there last week. If they win tonight, as we said, they control their own destiny. They will be the 4 seed from that 4A Region 8 because they would finish a game ahead of West Limestone, who West Limestone is now 3-4, and they'd also win the tiebreaker with Central of Florence, no matter what Central of Florence's results were tonight, because Central of Florence lost earlier to the West Morgan Rebels, who knocked them from the unbeaten ranks. So now if Central of Florence wins tonight and West Morgan were upset at Rogers, Central of Florence could get in, but it looks like our friends at West Limestone, unfortunately, are going to miss the playoffs this year.
We had a good time yesterday over in Trinity, along with Bryant Bank, and you and I, we handed the West
Zach
Morgan
Powell,
Rebels.
our good friend over there.
Yeah, handed the West Morgan Rebels a $200 check, and head coach Drew Phillips trying to build something over there. And I was impressed. I mean, they're building a new school, great facilities over there in Trinity for West Morgan. So we had a good time over there handing out a check for $200. That's always fun to do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was fun to see Zach out there from Bryant Bank, and as we said, and it was great to see Drew Phillips, his players, and his staff. They were really excited about it. And, again, they control their own destiny.
Right.
You don't need help. All you got to do, it's a road trip. It's, it's going to take a great effort. Rogers is coming off of a win over West Limestone last week, so they're playing better football. You heard Coach Phillips on the show on Wednesday talking about they run the wing T at Rogers, and so they come right at you. So West Morgan, they've got a chance to win and get in and go 6-4 in the regular season under Coach Drew Phillips. So that would be a major accomplishment. It would also be outstanding, their first playoff berth since the days of John Ritter in 2017. Coach Ritter now at Russellville, and they got that big win 49-14 over Lee and Irving McGuire last night. But and certainly that's going to be a very intriguing matchup. We'll talk to Bob Godsey to kick off hour 2. Yep. They play JP2 to close out region play tonight. But next week at Bill Washington Stadium, the Russellville Golden Tigers travel to Madison Academy, and that's going to be a really interesting matchup before the playoffs.
All right. Speaking of high school football, speaking of previews, let's take our time out. When we come back, we'll put the ball on the tee, and we'll set it up with Mark Fleetwood, head coach of Huntsville High, and ask him how he feels about his team's chances.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
That wreck at Pulaski Pike and Maston Lake has been our only working accident. It should be cleared out of the way pretty quick. Lots of reports of fog this morning, especially east of Huntsville. Be careful if you got a long way to go. It's definitely going to cost you some time. From routine care to heart failure, Dr. Randall Burns and the team at Huntsville Heart Specialists have the expertise to care for all matters of the heart. Captain Nick in the North Parkway Popeyes Skywatch Traffic Center.
McCurry Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, McCurry Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
Valley Equipment Rental. Pretty self-explanatory name, no? Tom Abraham here. And look, Valley Equipment Rental is all over the Tennessee Valley, and they rent equipment, all kinds of equipment, and not just to the contractors out there, but to you, the general public as well. Need a skid steer or an excavator? Well, they've got over 40 units to make sure they've got one for you. From huge boom lifts to miscellaneous hand tools, it's at Valley Equipment Rental on the South Parkway. And soon, they'll have a second location to handle even more equipment. More on that to come.
Never mind fall and football being in the air. We want to taste it.
And never mind not being able to tailgate at the game. Let's create the ultimate barbecue experience in your own backyard.
You said it, Foster Brooks, and that's where Brooks & Collier comes in. Big selection of outdoor furniture.
And a big selection of grills and smokers like Traeger, Big Green Egg, Blaze, even DCS, and more.
This is the good stuff.
And Paul, we definitely got the accessories. And remember, we deliver. Visit us at 813 Meridian Street and shop online at brooksandcollier.com.
Tired of the same old menu options everywhere you go? Then you need to try Metro Diner in Huntsville and Madison. The award-winning Metro Diner serves up signature dishes like their Charleston shrimp and grits, famous fried chicken and waffles with strawberry butter, and lots more. Their entire menu is available anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And stop by for brunch on Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the lowest price mimosas in town. Airport Road, Huntsville, and Highway 72 in Madison. In diner or at home, make it Metro Diner.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life, more important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
In 2 years, you can have a career that makes sense for you. Skill up and earn a living working with your hands, or work on the front line of computer information systems and cybersecurity. Get a degree that lets your healing heart take care of people. Help design and manufacture the most advanced cars, machinery, or even aerospace components. In just 2 years, great careers are within your reach at Drake State Community and Technical College. Visit drakestate.edu to apply.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor at Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
All right, 7:45 on a Friday morning. It's warming up a little bit. 50 degrees on this Friday, setting up for what should be a fantastic evening for high school football across the Tennessee Valley. You may want to bring a jacket, a sweater, a little bit of blanket or something, because around kickoff it should be around 58 degrees tonight. And for the Huntsville Crimson Panthers, that means a travel to Harvest, where it could be a little chilly out there. But nonetheless, should be a great night for high school football.
It should be. Austin Coletti and I will be on the call out in Harvest as LaRon White Senators are going to host Mark Fleetwood's Huntsville Crimson Panthers, and Coach Fleetwood is now joining us for his weekly visit with us on this Friday, FNL Friday, and, of course, a little nip in the air, but that means the regular season is winding to a close, and there's a lot of playoff implications tonight for Huntsville High and Sparkman, so this is a big game, and Coach Fleetwood's set to join us right now. Coach, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
We're good.
Coach, do you like these nights? Do you like it when it gets a little bit crisp out there?
Yeah, I do. I mean, you know, you know the playoffs are right around the corner, that's for sure, and so it's you know, and for us, I know we've been through some ups and downs this season, but to still have a chance here going into the ninth game to be in the playoffs, I think, you know, as young as we are, that's something really neat to look forward to tonight.
Yeah, and Coach, I know as we were talking yesterday, you were reminiscing about your career when you grew up in the Atlanta area in Georgia, and it's really a privilege to be playing football in November if you earn that opportunity to make the playoffs. And it's neat because I know in the program you were a part of, you guys made a lot of playoff runs, and if you're playing football in November, it means a lot.
Yeah, it does. It's really, you know, that's what you shoot for, of course, and the way they, you know, with these regions taking 4 teams and then sometimes the way those things pair out, you never know, who might end up in those final games, toward the semis and the state championships. So just the way it's done, it's really neat. And, it's playing football at the right time, or getting hot at the right time, I should say. And that's something I think that we ran into last week. I was really impressed with Florence last week after the game was over and watching the film. Going into that game, I thought I know Wade had been concerned during the season that they had not had all of their guys at one time, and the last 2 weeks of they had played Sparkman the week before and then played us, and boy, they really put it together, and it was impressive to see those guys with all their weapons on the field, because they got after us pretty good.
Well, Coach, obviously it does come down to this week for you guys to get into the playoffs. What's it like to have a chance to get into the playoffs, but control that chance to an extent to get in?
Well, it just I think for us and all the hard work that you do as you get down here to go into game 9 and not have a chance, of course, is a lot different. So, I think for the youth of our program and for what these seniors are trying to do, being such a small class, it means a lot. It really does. And you hope this is something that's getting ready to happen the next couple of years, and going through this, having this experience, and is a neat deal. It's a great learning experience.
It really is, Coach. Pardon me. And I know it means a lot to seniors, though. This is as small a senior class as we can remember. 9 seniors, really only about 8 of them active, though, due to injury. But it's certainly it was great to have a guy like Hayden Bradford along that defensive line get back last week. I know he'll be playing tonight, and this will be the last region game of his career. He certainly would like to go out with a playoff run in his senior season. So guys like him, Ben Brookman, who made a big play last week, 83-yard touchdown, I know it would mean a lot to get a road win tonight and put yourself in position to potentially be that 4th seed.
Yeah, it really would. I'm proud of those guys. Hayden going into the year and, of course, getting hurt. And he's been out till, from the second game all the way till last week, and it's sort of scary when you come back like that, but he got in there, and of course we didn't try to overdo it, and we tried to get him back sort of in the groove, and I thought he did a really good job, and I'm hoping that tonight we can increase his playing time and he can finish this season leading this team, along with Ben. Proud of Ben. I'm proud of the way Ben has played the last few weeks. He's made some catches and done some things with the ball that has been really good after his catch, yards after contact, yards after catch.
Well, Coach, when you look at the film tonight, Sparkman is who you have. Sparkman got off to a really good start and have kind of cooled off as late. What impresses you the most about this LaRon White coached squad?
Well, they're on offense. I know, especially they run the ball and they run it really well. I think that's their. That's what we've got to be able to stop tonight, and their quarterback throws it well. I think they focus more on the run, and then they put you to sleep and then throw the ball over top because they've got speed on the outside. So, a really fast team that's physical up front. I've been really impressed with, one of our former coaches, Terrence Young, who left us and went over to Jemison in administration. His son plays center, and I'm telling you, he is a good player and physical and throwing people around, and there's a lot of size on their offensive line. So I'm looking for a really physical contest, and I think the guy, whoever wins the trenches tonight on both sides of the ball, that's who's going to win this game.
Yeah, no doubt. It's going to be almost an old school type approach. And Coach, we know this Huntsville offense is very capable. They exploded against Bob Jones. They continued against certainly James Clemens and Albertville. It was a little bit of a struggle after a good start against that Florence team last week when you took the 7-0 lead. But how do you kind of regain the confidence of this group tonight against a Sparkman defense that's pretty stout in their own right?
Well, we've had a good week of practice, and I think the biggest thing is just execution. I don't know if we can go back during the season and say, I know as an offense or as a defense and as a team that we've really put it together for one complete game, and I think that's what we're striving for, is for the three-phase game, and let's play a complete game in all three areas. We started out really last week. The first three drives were really good.
Yes,
and we had a mistake. On the first drive, I think we turned it over, and then we sort of just. I think Florence came into their own, and we didn't execute after those drives. We didn't execute like we were capable of, and then defensively, put them in a situation where we've got two good downs, and then all of a sudden we give up the third down, and just being consistent throughout the game, and I think that's the thing that we're trying to focus on more than anything is let's try to play a complete game in all three phases.
Yeah, that'll be huge tonight at Sparkman High School. And, of course, again, that game, 7 o'clock. Austin Coletti and I will be on the call on Zone 2 on ESPN 97.7 The Zone. Download the app to hear the Crimson Panthers tonight, and we are very excited about the game and the possibilities, Coach. And I mean, there's so much young talent on this squad in the junior and sophomore classes. In your mind, I know you're focusing on the here and now tonight, but what would it mean to these young players to get a win tonight and then experience potentially a playoff berth in 7A in your mind?
Well, I mean it's what it's all about, and be able to see it at this young age with the group, our juniors, to be able to see that, not having been there before, and then our 10th grade group, which I'm really excited about. Those guys finished their JV season undefeated, and they hadn't lost since about 7th grade. So the experience you get from doing that, and then seeing the caliber of teams that you see when you do that. And especially our region, because we always go match up with the Birmingham guys.
Right.
So, and it's not just that you get there. I mean, everybody wants to get to the playoffs. Then when you get there, then you want to win. So, so to be able to see this and experience this for these guys, not only for these seniors going out, but for these younger guys, I think is big. I mean, that's what you strive for. And then when you, like I said, when you get there, you don't want to just be there. You want to win.
Well, Coach, does it seem like this is the final week of regular season? Does it seem like where we're at this point?
At least region play, right? Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. I mean, this thing has flown by. All of a sudden we were playing Mountain Brook, and here we are. We're playing Sparkman, 9th game of the year. Last region game. So, it has flown by. I can tell you that.
And, Coach, I wanted to give you a chance to clarify for next week, too. There has been a change. I know this happened a few weeks ago, but I'll let you inform the listeners. I know you and Jerry Adcock are very close, but this game against Decatur has now been moved, correct?
That's right. It is going to be on Friday night. It was originally scheduled on Thursday night, and then they had some complications during their season. So they've moved their homecoming game to Friday night against us. So I was glad to help them on that. The idea of playing that last game on a Thursday night is that hopefully you're in the playoffs and it gives you an extra day to get yourself ready. But, in these situations, a lot of times with the way it's been the last 2 years, it's been a little bit crazy. So, anytime, I'm glad to help. I'm glad to help Decatur in that regards. And of course I went over it with the principal, Aaron King, and so we're going to move that game. It'll be on a Friday night. It'll still be at Decatur there at Ogle Stadium. So that I appreciate you letting me put a plug in there about that, because we don't want any confusion next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Coach, the final thing from me, I know you said you're going to have to run the football, stop the run tonight. That's the big key for the Huntsville Crimson Panthers winning this game. How healthy are you guys? I know Jarrell Goodlow was a little bit banged up last week. How is he going into tonight?
Yeah, he's good, but because we held him out all last week, we didn't play him. and I didn't want to try and, I wanted to try to get through that. He was sore. He probably could have played last week, but he wasn't full speed. So, other than that, we're in pretty good shape. We had a lineman or two that was a little bit slow at the beginning of the week, but they have rehabbed and they're in good shape. So we got everybody, that we're expecting to play is going to play. So I look forward to it. I mean, this is an exciting time, and of course Sparkman has, LeBron does a good job, and there'll be a big crowd in that stadium tonight. It'll be, I'm sure the air will be crisp there, and it'll be an exciting time there at kickoff.
It certainly will, and we look forward to it, Coach. Thank you for the time as always, and we look forward to Crimson Panther football tonight and hopefully getting a big win and a potential playoff berth. But thank you for the time as always.
Okay, thanks, guys. Look forward to seeing you all tonight.
All right, thanks. All right, let's get our break in. When we come back, we're going to tee the ball up one more time. Bob Godsey going to join us. Madison Academy Mustangs close out region play this week as well. What do they have to do to get a win? We'll ask the coach himself.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, "If you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself."
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Just got a new wreck at Hobbs Road and Redstone Road. That one is coming in with an injury. Had one on Bob Wallace west of Triana reported with an injury. They ended up canceling Himsey on that one. Pulaski Pike and Maston Lake should be clear now. And still got some fog, especially northeast of Huntsville. You be careful on that trip this morning. Do your methods to lose weight no longer work for you? Odds are your hormones are the problem. Find out with a free quiz at 2030huntsville.com. Captain Nick in the North Parkway, Popeyes, Skywatch Traffic Center.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures a little cooler than they have been the last couple of days. Highs only climbing into the mid and upper 60s. It'll be a beautiful evening for Friday night football across all of North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. By the time we get to the end of the game, you might want a light jacket, so be prepared. Temperatures dropping into the mid and upper 40s. Some of us only falling into the lower 50s as we head into the overnight early Saturday morning. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Simple Green is perfect for making your auto, RV, cycling, boating, and other sporting equipment look like new. Visit them at simplegreen.com.
College football tomorrow night, number 4 Alabama at home against Tennessee. The Crimson Tide a 25-point home favorite. The over-under 67. Auburn with the week off. They will face Ole Miss a week from tomorrow. The ALCS back in Houston for Game 6 tonight. The Astros lead the series 3-2 over the Red Sox. This game a pick'em. Both teams at -110 on the money line. The over-under 8.5. Luis Garcia getting the start for the Astros. Nathan Eovaldi will start for Boston. NFL Week 7, the Falcons a 2.5-point favorite at the Dolphins on Sunday, 47.5 total. The Saints a 4.5-point favorite at the Seahawks on Monday night, the over-under 43.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Welcome to Talkin Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
All right, it's hour 2 of Talking Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Welcome in. 8 o'clock. It's 50 degrees and holding. Still a little bit of patchy fog out there, I think, in some places maybe, but it's all burned off by now. Should be another great, fantastic night for high school football as we led into Mark Fleetwood there in the first hour. We told you it's going to be around 56 degrees for a kickoff, so you're going to want to bring some hot chocolate maybe for the first time, maybe a little cider, maybe a blanket. Who knows, but it's still a good night for high school football because it won't be raining. Yeah. And the final week of region play tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. 4A Region 7, Madison Academy closing out their region slate as they will host the JP2 Falcons, St. John Paul II. And Joe Ross will bring his team to Bill Washington Stadium to take on the Mustangs. And the Madison Academy Mustangs, of course, have had a very special season thus far, have clinched the region championship, but they want to, clinch a unbeaten region slate tonight as well and continue their momentum toward the 4A playoffs as they want to make a deep playoff run under third-year head football coach Bob Godsey, and now he is joining us as he does each and every week for his weekly visit, and we always appreciate his time. Coach, good morning. You're with Scott and Drew. How are you?
I'm doing good, guys. How are y'all?
We're good,
morning,
Coach. Always good to hear from you, and I mean, you guys went on the road last week. You've done a very nice job each and every time you've been on the road in region play. I know it's a difficult preparation. Sometimes we talked about that for Trey Sullivan and New Hope, but it looked like your team responded well on both sides of the ball, Coach.
Well, we played pretty good. I think we handled, kind of our business and just like you said, being on the road, being in a different atmosphere. We have guys that was their first trip out to New Hope, and anytime we can get in those type of situations, because we may see that in the playoffs as well. It's good, but felt like we played pretty well, all things considered. As you said, what Trey and them do, kind of make it difficult on you. I thought we played pretty well defensively. We got to play a lot of young guys defensively as well that played well on both sides, actually, offense and defense. So scored in the kicking game. We did a lot of really good things. So proud to get that win, proud to close out that region championship, and as you said, looking to close out the region slate tonight on homecoming.
Coach, when both teams are running the ball and when you play New Hope, I mean, you're not going to get too many chances because of the style they play, the running style. It does chew up a lot of clock. Were you amazed at how fast the first half went by on Friday night?
Well, I did actually check my watch on the way in because I knew it had flown by. There wasn't even it was 7:40 or something like that. So. There's a lot of different ways to do things. And as you said, they were running the clock and running it down before they snapped it, playing defense with their offense almost. And you're not going to get many chances. And that was the one thing I didn't think, we ran down the kickoff back, and a lot of times that can work against you as much as for you in terms of just a mental thing of you think things were going to be really easy. And offensively, we kind of sputtered a little bit. the first drive or so, but I thought we picked it up and played well from there.
Well, Coach, it's always good. I mean, I know Will Bergreen transferred this year to Madison Academy, a big part of the program, but I know it's, as you said, sometimes it can work against you, but anytime you score the first time you touch the football on the road to kind of take the crowd out of it, that's big.
Well, it is, and that's something we really, especially here over the last 2 weeks, really tried to put a lot of emphasis on our special teams. We feel like we have, 4 or 5 guys that are, our kickoff return that if they get their hands on it can return it for a touchdown and have done so. So we put a lot of emphasis on our special teams and trying to improve them each and every week. Once again, just trying to cover all our bases and everything we can for what we hope will build a nice playoff run.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Coach, how do you finish tonight then, heading in that right direction? Is that final week of region play? Then how do you finish in the right direction, preparing for the playoffs, but also focusing on the last region game?
Well, it's kind of the same old. We've said a lot on here through the weeks in terms of we got to handle our business. It's been I won't say a difficult, but an odd week this week in terms of preparation. We practiced on Wednesday and Thursday morning because of volleyball being over at the Von Braun and giving our guys a chance to maybe have an opportunity to support. We want to support all of our stuff going on here. So we handled that pretty well. We had a great morning Wednesday morning, not so good yesterday morning, but just being out of the normal routine. I think it's good sometimes to do that, to kind of challenge them a little bit. Homecoming going on all week, all kind of things going on today. So it's going to challenge their preparation and their mental focus. But we just I think all of that is good in the end, and because that's just life. Life's about distractions. Life's about difficulties and how you handle them. All don't be easy, and we have a veteran group that handle things okay. But we really that's an area where we really need to get better and be a little more mature about how we do things.
Well, I mean, Coach, I know you mentioned in the New Hope game they tried to almost play defense with their offense, keep the ball away, drain the clock. But so it makes the opportunities offensively. You have to be efficient and play well. Speaking of being efficient, we've mentioned him quite frequently in the last few weeks, but I wanted to bring it up again because he's really been playing, I think, at a high level for you. But talk about Carson Crean, 11 of 14, passing the football. And again, when you're getting a limited number of snaps in some cases because the other team is trying to dominate the time of possession, talk about his development. How have you seen him gain confidence and get better during the season?
Well, I think it's been evident on the field that he plays a little bit better each week. Now, like I said, in that first couple of series, you wouldn't have known until after the game that he was 11-14. We were a little sporadic in that first couple of series. So we just keep fighting for that consistency. He doesn't have a lot of experience, so each day is different, for him. But he's surrounded by, excellent guys that when they do their thing, he has plenty of weapons that are easy to get the ball to, and that's his job. I think he's understanding that more and more, each week. And as we said, it starts up front with our guys up front. And, we saw some different looks from New Hope up front, which was good for us, and handled that pretty well because, like I said, it only gets tougher from here.
Are you going to see a similar game plan tonight, do you think, from Pope John Paul? The Falcons run a lot of option as well. Try to, maintain that clock, run that defense with the offense. Are you going to see a similar style tonight?
Well, they have been. That's the thing. They've done a lot of different things, so you're a little bit open in terms of your preparation, in terms of what they might do. It could be the last region game and come out and throw every trick play and do everything. Just just go crazy with it. And the other aspect of that is like you said, what we saw last week, and run the clock and limit opportunities and things of that nature. But once again, the answer to either is just us handling our business, offense and defense, being where we're supposed to be. I felt like we've had a little bit better preparation this week than maybe last week. But we'll find that out come 7 o'clock.
No question about that, Coach. And then defensively, of course, you've got your guys were able to play good football and hold New Hope to one score. That's always where you win games first and foremost, is stopping people. In your mind, I know, as you said, JP2 has been multiple offensively. What's going to be the key defensively tonight? And really what you're trying to do is play consistent football each week, because you want to be when in a couple of weeks when the playoffs start is when really it matters the most. So you want to stay into I would say a good rhythm, and this is almost a mindset game for you guys, especially on that side of the ball tonight.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head there, where you really want to build momentum tonight. That's what you want to do. You want to get the win first of all, but you want to build momentum. You want to play well. You want to be efficient. But as far as us tonight, the quarterback for JP2 is a really good athlete. Things kind of run through him, so it gives us an opportunity to very similar to Madison County, to where you face an offense that's kind of quarterback dominated, which a lot of them are nowadays. So it gives us an opportunity to do some things there. We're working on at depth. Got a few injuries, so we got some young guys on the field right now, and to get them as many reps as possible is crucial as they still kind of trying to figure things out. So communication becomes a big key with older guys to these younger guys, regardless of offense, defense, special teams. You got to have the older guys willing, to communicate and into it enough to communicate. The younger guys relaxed and confident enough to listen and communicate back. So there's a lot of things that go on there. But once again, we've had I think a good week of preparation in preparing, for these things.
Coach, obviously tonight is the last week of region play. Next week you play on Russellville. You opened the season with a challenging game, from a different class. You're going to finish it taking on Russellville from a higher class. Talk about today taking on New Hope or Hope John Paul, and then trying to finish up with a challenging game to close out the regular season.
Well, I think it's an opportunity to really prepare for the playoffs. I think we're going to see a playoff team. We're going to see a 5A playoff team. A team last year that went to the quarterfinals, and a team that's only lost one game this year. It should prepare us. The biggest thing that you worry, obviously, when you play a game like this right before going into the playoffs is injuries.
Yes.
But you can't play scared. I think the positives way outweigh the negatives in terms of just preparing for the speed of the game, preparing for, the toughness of the game. We've been fortunate to put some games away early. Who knows what tonight will bring. Next week, obviously, it'll be a game that should be a full quarter game. They will have to grind out, so it'll be a great, great, great challenge for us. We need to handle. Probably the only thing that this game doesn't set up right now to bring us is that we don't have to go over there. They come over here to have to go into a kind of a hostile environment and deal with it better than maybe we did the first of the year. But it's a measuring game, so you kind of see where you are, kind of see what you need to improve on. You can tell kids, coach kids, all you want, but a lot of times they have to see it, and so all should be all positives coming out of that game next week. if we can get through it healthy.
And, Coach, I was going to ask you to clarify because I've seen it listed 2 different days on Thursday and Friday. Is the game still slated for Friday against Russellville?
No, we have moved it to Thursday.
It has been moved to Thursday. I got a call about that last night. Okay.
Yes, it has been moved to Thursday. We'll play Thursday night. I'm glad you brought that up. Both teams kind of want to do that. A little extra time for playoffs and a little extra time. What we feel like will be a physical game, the extra day to heal up and freshen up, and before you get rolling in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we appreciate the time as always. We'll have Glenn Laird and Steve Moulton on the call tonight. Madison Academy closing out 4A Region 7 competition against the JP2 Falcons, trying to close out an undefeated region slate. They've already clinched the 1 seed in the championship, but the Madison Academy Mustangs ranked number 2 in 4A, hoping to make a deep playoff run and keep that going tonight. Coach, good luck to you, and we appreciate the time and the clarification on the game next week.
Thank you very much, guys. Always enjoy it.
All right, as always, that interview brought to you by our good friends over at SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center. They are a proud sponsor of Madison Academy Football. Invite you to visit their Saturday sports clinic for all of those sports-related injuries each Saturday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Visit 4715 Whitesburg Drive. It's the SportsMed Saturday Clinic. And, of course, SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center. Give them a call, 256-881-5151, to experience the SportsMed difference. SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, dedicated to providing care that improves lives. And we need to take a break because when we come back, you and I had a chance to visit with Dr. Josh Looney yesterday, UNA Athletics Director. We'll talk about that, and then we will let you hear our conversation with him.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Couple of wrecks. Hobbs and Redstone reported with an injury, and Bob Wallace west of Triana. They canceled Himsey on that one. Maston Lake and Pulaski Pike was much earlier. It should be long gone by now. You get 3 pieces of the crispy tender chicken and a buttermilk biscuit for $4.99 at Popeyes. University and Jordan, 72 and Jeff and North Parkway. Captain Nick in the Popeyes Skywatch Traffic Center.
Carrier Rosenblum here with Rosenblum Realty, and we appreciate our MA family. Football season is back again, and we're here for your real estate needs. We've been also doing rental properties for many years. You may have a home that you need to lease out. You don't need the headaches. You need somebody to take care of it, make sure the repairs are done, keep the rent coming in, and screen the tenants. We can do all that for you at Rosenblum Realty, where we do property management services, or you can find a good home to rent as well. Call us at 256-539-9501. Put our years of experience to work for you.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Looking for a great deal? Well, I've got one for you. Tom Abraham here for Valley Equipment Rental. And at Valley Equipment, if you rent after 3 on a Friday or on a Saturday morning, you're not due back until Monday morning. So basically, you're getting the entire weekend for the price of one day. And if you're in the service or are a vet, they'll knock another 10% off. Valley Equipment is locally owned and involved in our community through charities and even supporting local teams. And soon, they'll have a second location to handle even more equipment. Stay tuned for info on where that will be and when it will open.
Everybody knows the fun begins when you get to the end zone, where you can enjoy half-price apps every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, half-price burgers every Tuesday, plus late-night pizza specials and a spectacular menu that includes jumbo wings, half-pound burgers, Tex-Mex, and an incredible selection of craft beer, and plenty of big-screen TVs. It's all happening at the end zone, 1851 University Drive, 2030 Cecil Ashburn at Jones Valley Station, and coming in early 2022, Mid-City End Zone at 1115 McMurtry next to the Target Shopping Center.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10-plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
Orange is the color of power, of construction, the color of Kubota, and Huntsville Tractor and Equipment. Those who need to get things done trust Kubota's mini excavators, compact track loaders, and the best keeps getting better with the all-new mini compact loader from one of the top dealers in the country. More than 50 years of family service, every part in the book, and folks who know what to do with them. You'll be seeing Orange with Huntsville Tractor and Equipment.
Come on, let's go to work.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find them online at chapmancommercialrealty.com.
Have you ever found exactly the right new car or truck with the exact features that you want and nothing else? Well, at Woody Anderson Ford, we can promise you just that. Hey, Bobby White back again, and you can now factory order your new Ford today, and you'll get your new car or truck exactly the way you want it. And there's no extra cost to custom order. Plus, you get $1,000 off MSRP on top of any additional factory rebates. This applies to 2021 F-150, Explorer, Ranger, and Expedition. It's a win-win with a custom order at Woody Anderson Ford. You get the colors, the features, and the options that fit your life. Plus, you get notified when it's built, shipped, and ready to deliver. Listen, buying a new car or truck is likely the second largest investment you'll ever make. So why settle? Get exactly what you want with a custom factory order today. And get $1,000 off MSRP. See how at WoodyAndersonFord.com or at the corner of Jordan Lane and Sparkman Drive. Hope to see you soon.
This is Steve Moulton from The Drive. Join us this afternoon from 5 to 7 with Wes Neighbors and me. Now back to Talkin Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
All right, 8:24. Welcome back to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Yesterday, you and I had a fantastic chance. And by the way, if you get a chance to go to Grill on Main in Providence, check it out. It's Chef Boyce's, James Boyce's new restaurant.
Outstanding, yeah.
Highly recommend the restaurant. But that's not why you and I went out there, is to check out the restaurant. We went out there because we were invited to sit down with a group of great people, influential people from North Alabama, and have the
University of North Alabama, and we want to appreciate Matthew Smith for putting that together.
Yeah, we sat down with guys from North Alabama, though, throughout. I mean, Rex Reynolds was there, among others, to gauge and to bend the ear and lend the ear of Dr. Josh Looney from UNA, and the vice president, and those, and Matt Schmitz, of course, but to discuss how UNA can be more prevalent here in the Rocket City.
Yeah, and how they can expand their brand and their presence. Now we are the fastest rising and fastest growing city in the state. We are the biggest city. And UNA is the fastest growing university in the state of Alabama. So their enrollment is starting to blossom. They're finishing up this last year before they are a full-fledged Division I member, and that'll include FCS football in the Atlantic Sun. And, of course, we talked to Dr. Josh Looney shortly after he took over at UNA. Now, he wasn't in town
yet. His first interview, by the way.
Yeah, it was. He officially took over September the 1st. When he called us in August, he was at Chiefs training camp at Missouri Western, which was his previous stop, and he had, of course, that was his brainchild and his baby there with the Chiefs coming to their university for training camp. So he was still coordinating that and walking them through that, and then started on September the 1st. It's been a whirlwind for him, 6+ weeks on the job, but it was great to sit down with Dr. Josh Looney at UNA and kind of see and find out where things stand with UNA athletics and what his vision is for the future.
Now, here's our little conversation we had with Dr. Josh Looney. First time we talked to you, you were getting situated, making that move from St. Joe's, Missouri to Florence. How's it going now?
It's been wonderful. Full 6 weeks in the Shoals and the greater North Alabama region, and it's just been a warm welcome, a great spot, able to bring our full family down, and really the only thing that's been then the big adventure is trying to navigate the housing market that is hot. So many people wanting to be in and move into this area. So it's been wonderful, and our family just loves it. And coming off a homecoming last weekend to experience what that's all about at UNA, just so impressive in so many areas.
And Josh, I know what's been your favorite, the best part of so far being here for about 2 months. I know you've had to take a lay of the land of the athletic department. You've already rebuilt an athletic department, in your previous stop. But what has been the best part of being here in North Alabama and taking a look at UNA athletics and where it stands?
Yeah, just that process is the thing that gets you fired up and ready to go. Of course, the people are great, so that makes one thing off. But, I'm somebody, you're kind of listening to it right now, right? It's been 6 weeks, but it's trying to put plans into action while you're listening. And, being here in Huntsville, it's just an incredible thing to see 3 major things happening, growing all at once, right? The University of North Alabama, fastest growing university in the state, running away. The growth is near 9,000 students now. We'll see where the final census comes out at the end of the month. Huntsville, fastest growing city in the state, the largest city now in the state, right? And then North Alabama athletics, final year of the Division I transition in an incredible league in the ASUN that will be a founding member of that FCS football league that has taken powers and regional opponents that will be founding members of this football conference starting next year. And then obviously we're under that same umbrella in all the other sports. So you take those 3 things together. Wow, what a time. And what a time to join, what a time to build an athletic department and a university and a region that's all really going into a new era together.
The Big South Conference for football was a good conference, but it really was all reach for UNA on a lot of levels. How more fitting is the ASUN, and how easy is that going to be for them to make that adjustment going from their second conference in, 2 years?
Well, Cal Callender, the commissioner of the Big South Conference, is a great partner, and we've been very fortunate to be able to play a league schedule. It's much better to have the majority of your games set than trying to build an independent schedule, which I'm fortunate I didn't have to sit in that seat, but that's what UNA was doing right through. It's been a tough piece for our football program, right, where you go from independent scheduling, no postseason opportunities, and then you're in Big South. This is the first year that our games have been counted in their conference standing. We were basically a schedule filler, and we have 3 flights this year. Robert Morris just flew down to us, but we flew to North Carolina A&T. We're flying to Monmouth. We'll fly to Hampton, and to be able to get into a league that's been really the vision of Ted Gumbart, our commissioner, to set the ASUN in a position of conference realignment that is a league of strength that people want to be joining. Those league games are all going to be bus trips for us, so we can invest that budget elsewhere as we grow into Division I, not in a flight to get to New Jersey to play a football game. Fans know our opponents more, and so we're very grateful to the Big South, but definitely makes all the sense in the world for what's happened to ASUN, and now we're excited that the 6th member, Austin P, will be joining us next year, which gives us the AQ needed in FCS football beginning with the 2022 season.
And when you're looking at the FCS level, Missouri Western on the Division II level was a powerhouse, and as you've mentioned to us, the league arguably was the best on that level of collegiate athletics. What do you envision the future being with the Ace, and how important will it be from a FCS and football standpoint, and really athletics, to UNA's brand and future?
The ASUN has made great strides in basketball and all those sports, which the big piece for the league has been the football growth needs to continue to elevate the league, but not at the expense of the progress in the other sports. We still have more than half league members do not sponsor football, and so it's being on the same page to grow together as a group, and so it's just an exciting time. Great commissioner, and UNA's excited to be part of the future of ASUN football.
What has been some of the biggest hurdles that you've had to overcome since you've hit this ground running?
Hey, I think overall, you come in and the academic year's already started. The athletic year has already started. You're already, my first message to our coaches was, hey, don't slow down. Let me sprint and catch up to you. So learning that piece, but also we're in year 4 of a transition. I tell everybody if moving from Division II to Division I was easy, everybody be doing it. It's supposed to be hard. It's designed to be difficult, and it's not a level playing field for us right now. And that's the stuff that's exciting, though, of, okay, you get through the transition. That's this year. This is last year. What do the next 5 years look like? And the 5 after that, we have to continue to grow and compete and give that great student-athlete experience and have pride in the community and the region as we go through, because we're also 10, 20, 30 years behind some that have made that move. What's interesting in the ASUN, it's a lot of former Division II schools. Right. It's just at much different times have they made the transition. And we're not the newest. Bellarmine's the newest in our league that I think is just finishing up year 1 or 2. But yeah, those are the challenges. So that stuff doesn't stop, right? You have to continue to strategically move even after you finish that process, which will end this year.
Well, and I know you're in the Rocket City here doing a tour. What is your impressions of Huntsville? You mentioned the fastest growing city and now the largest city in the state. And what is your plans for Huntsville helping grow the brand in North Alabama?
Well, I'm excited to be here and be able to meet with alumni, local leaders, business partners, and just see how can we support Huntsville in their growth. Where does UNA fit in? I kind of take the 4 Ps here, right? The picture, the first one, it's pretty easy. I mentioned there's 3 entities that are growing rapidly: UNA Athletics, University of North Alabama, Huntsville, and this greater region. That's one piece. So then you go to plan. Well, what's the plan? How can we partner? How can we support each other, right? And then you prepare for that. Where are the wins for Huntsville partnering with UNA? How can UNA come to Huntsville, right, and support? And then, then at the end it's produce, right? Let's make some things happen. And so this is a piece of a listening tour, but it's also an action tour as well. And so I'm just excited to see what opportunities and hear ideas of how we can be better involved and integrate into the Huntsville community.
I want to ask you about Division I, because I know you make that move, you become official next year, and a lot of fans are like, okay, what does that really mean? What changes? I mean, we know the changes, but what changes are fans going to expect to see, or what does it really mean then when we say, okay, now you're a full Division I member?
I think by year 4, you've played the schedules. It's an exciting shift. Obviously, we talked about the ASUN, but you're the 4th year of really 3.5 years of playing those Division I opponents. So that piece is kind of in the past. It's the internal pieces for us. Is how do we grow, and it's a university move. Division I. It's not just an athletic department, and continue to push forward. Obviously, until you're a member, I shouldn't say obviously, because a lot of people don't realize it. When you can't compete for championships until you're through the process, and you don't have the Division I revenue distribution that everyone else gets, which is a 7-figure difference, and that alone helps. It helps a lot in the revenue piece. And so, and then you're building out schedules and from a men's basketball schedule, an FBS opponent schedule, working on that for what does the next 8 to 10 years look like. So there's some pieces that are still different and to go. But I think for the general fan, it is how is the university growing into this Division I? Because we're already playing Vanderbilt in women's basketball in 2018. You've already played Auburn in basketball. You already played Mississippi State. So it's really the things behind the scenes, and then just what our fans and communities see of what does that next evolution actually look like. What do I see when I go to a UNA athletic event?
And Huntsville can play a big factor in that role.
That's absolutely right. And we can play a big factor in the goals in Huntsville and helping with the business and local community and economic development and community engagement, all of those things, which is a great opportunity to be here this week. And this won't be the last time that we're here this week.
Well, we look forward to UNA growing their presence here in Huntsville and especially throughout North Alabama and this part of the state. Josh, it's great to touch base with you again and talk with you. And welcome to Alabama.
Hey, thank you to you both.
That was a fantastic opportunity we had yesterday with Dr. Josh Looney, the Director of Athletics over at North Alabama. Great sit-down conversation. Big thanks to the lunch as well. Fantastic lunch. But UNA has a vision, and it was put yesterday in the meeting that for so long that vision only reached Rogersville, Lauderdale County, the edge of the county line. That vision now is the entire North Alabama for UNA, getting into this market, getting in, reaching out to more alumni, reaching out and expanding that footprint.
Yeah, and that's what they want to do at North Alabama, and we certainly would like to be helping them along that journey here at ESPN 97.7 The Zone as we continue to expand our brand. So it's been great twice to sit down with Dr. Josh Looney. I think we're the only ones that have done that. We did the first interview with him here really in the state of Alabama when he first took the job. And now, as we said, he's been on for about 6 weeks. And it was great to have him in the Rocket City yesterday.
It was good.
It was an honor to sit down at that lunch. We were the only media there as far as local media, and we appreciated that opportunity to sit down with him. I know he did some other media later on in the day.
He met with He met with Tommy Battle, the mayor of Huntsville, yesterday.
Absolutely.
He met with Mark Russell, director of the Huntsville Sports Commission as well. So
he was meeting a lot of influential people in Huntsville, and we hope to continue to help UNA expand their brand here in the Rocket City in the future. So laying the foundation for that, and it was great to catch up with Dr. Looney and find out, what his thoughts were about the future of UNA athletics, which I think is very bright, going to the A-Sun, Scott, and playing athletics there, and especially FCS football starting next year. But it was great to sit down with him once again and talk some purple and gold to UNA.
All right, let's get our final break in. When we come back, your tomorrow's headlines today and something you didn't know about the state of Florida and the AP poll. But let's get out to the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline then. Let's go to Brandon, who's been holding. Good morning, Brandon.
Morning, my man.
Morning, sir.
Morning, Drew. Y'all asked what my expectations are for the Tennessee game tomorrow.
Right.
I want Tennessee to look like that building I drove by yesterday in Rainsville, where they're steadily on fire and there's caution tape up around them, but nobody's really paying attention.
So you're wanting a route, huh?
I want it to be a disaster from beginning to end. I want them to have zero hope that they can win this game. And it would really be funny for them to do themselves in with mistake after mistake after mistake. Nothing makes me happier than beating Tennessee right around my birthday every year, because I've become so used to it that it's basically gone on for almost half my life.
Yeah, it has. I mean, this would be 15 in a row, the longest streak in the series.
Oh, and I'm looking forward to 20. Heupel thinks he's going to come in and he's going to run Alabama to death. Well, I hope he comes in and runs himself right out of his shoes. And we'll hand him a bottle of mustard on the way out. We'll give him the Saturday Down South Tennessee defense kit that he's going to need. So,
well, I don't know.
Be all Alabama.
I don't know if you saw the SEC shorts, but they did a great job with that this week too. It was an emergency kit. It had French's mustard and golf balls in it.
Well, if that's the Tennessee's defense kit, I'd love to see the Kentucky. So.
I'd have to ask Jeff from the borough that.
I don't know what that would be. John Calipari's checkbook, and I'm trying to think what the other part of it.
Well, they gave Ty Washington he's got an NIL deal with Porsche, so he's driving a Porsche around in college. So, but now it's legal.
Now it's
the Cayenne.
Now it's legal.
Yeah. I hope somebody doesn't steal his Porsche. Seriously, I mean that's such a high-profile vehicle. I hope he has a garage somewhere, but I'm sure they do at Kentucky.
It's kind of like all these idiots that think that saving buying Chargers for people when he owns a Mercedes lot. It just people have no sense.
Look, I have a birthday coming up on Sunday. I could use an NIL deal for a Porsche.
Yeah, there you go. Get Scott a Porsche Cayenne SUV vehicle.
There we go.
I would take an NIL deal to Bubby's Diner at this point in my life and be completely happy with it.
Well, Chad would have to work on that, man. Yeah. He knows Bubby well.
And we'll be at Metro Diner next Friday though, because we're getting the boot out of here. So
yeah, we're in the middle of a move here to our new locale, but we'll see. So we will be out there with our friends at Metro Diner, and we look forward to that next Friday.
Does y'all's new locale have a fireman's pole so that you can get from the second floor to the first floor if the elevator doesn't work?
We got a lot of poles.
Yeah. A lot of wires, a lot of poles.
All right, Brandon.
All right, y'all have a good day and roll tide.
Thanks. All right, let's get a break in. When we come back, now we'll get to tomorrow's headlines today, plus the state of Florida and the AP poll. What do they have in common?
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Looking for a medical call in Morgan County, 337 mile marker northbound. That's going to be between the Tennessee River Bridge and the 565 exit ramp. Got northbound on Pulaski Pike at Monroe Road. That one's reported with injuries. Northbound on the Parkway at Bob Wallace should be moved off the roadway now. It turned out to be a no injury. Hobbs and Redstone, nobody hurt there. And Bob Wallace west of Triana also got updated to a no injury. The 5th annual Bernard Blues and Barbecue Fest is coming up the 30th and 31st next to Ave Maria Grotto in Coleman. Arts and crafts, live music, a $10,000 giveaway, and of course, that great barbecue. Captain Nick in the North Parkway Popeyes Skywatch Traffic Center.
Tom Luganbill here for Woody Anderson Ford. When I was in the Tennessee Valley, one of the things that impressed me the most was the quality of the people. People like Bobby White and his team at Woody Anderson Ford. And now you can experience the tremendous new service lanes and showroom at Woody Anderson Ford, at Jordan and Sparkman, or just stop by for breakfast or lunch at Henry's Mustang Cafe. And in Madison, visit Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, just south of 72. Like a great college football tradition, always there, Woody Anderson Ford.
Bob Baumhauer and 97.7 ESPN The Zone have teamed up to bring you a huge opportunity this fall. Each week, come on down to Baumhauer's during the drive on Thursdays between 5 and 7 and register to win a Lunch Bunch gift certificate for 6 to Baumhauer's. But wait, there's more. Each weekly winner will then be placed into a drawing for Bob's tickets to the LSU-Alabama game in Tuscaloosa, complete with an invitation to Bob's exclusive pregame party at Baumhauer's Tent on the Quad. Stay tuned to 97.7 ESPN The Zone for other opportunities to sign up and win Bob's tickets.
Two Maids and a Mop. That's all you need to know to clean house. Two Maids and a Mop is an award-winning company, bonded and insured. Hire them for yourself, or they have gift cards if you want to make someone else's day. Find out more online at twomaidshuntsville.com. A maid service worth talking about. Two Maids and a Mop take care of everything. They supply all the cleaning equipment needed. Call 256-883-6243. The only finger you'll need to lift is the one to call them.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code BOOST for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST.
If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
AVIQ. Who is AVIQ? AVIQ is audiovisual the intelligent way, where we put our IQ to work for your AV needs. With more than 100 years combined experience in audio, video, and automation, our team of experts is dedicated to one thing, helping you discover technological solutions that make your home special. Once you experience a game or a movie on one of our state-of-the-art home theater systems, you may never leave the house again. AVIQ can build the entire system for you or provide the quality components if you're a do-it-yourselfer. But AVIQ is more than just home theater and state-of-the-art sound systems. We offer a variety of control options for home technology. Energy efficiency, heightened security, and improved quality of life are all attainable through the automation of home systems. Intuitive and user-friendly control is our main priority in designing a system that meets your needs. Don't just take our word for it. You need to see it to believe it. Come visit us at our state-of-the-art showroom on University, just east of Jim and Nick's, across from AT&T, or visit aviqhsv.com. Organizations using Salesforce know how powerful the platform is and how much time, money, and headaches it saves if it's set up right and you know how to use it. Let's face it, Salesforce is complicated and time-consuming to figure out, and a lot can go wrong now and down the road without expert help. That's why most Salesforce users work with an implementation partner like Higher Echelon, so they get the absolute most out of their Salesforce investment. Higher Echelon is a 5-star Salesforce consulting partner who won Salesforce Military Hiring Partner of the Year. President Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets. He puts that experience to good use at Higher Echelon, where they pride themselves on hiring veterans. Look, not all Salesforce partners are the same. Don't put your company at risk by going with an inferior partner. Higher Echelon is the trusted partner you can count on to get you up and running and seeing returns on your Salesforce investment in a fraction of the time it would take if you go it alone. Go to higherechelon.com. That's HIGHERECHELON.com to learn more. Go higher and go Army.
This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com. It's time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
And welcome back to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drew, did you know that this week's AP Top 25 poll did not have a team from the state of Florida ranked inside the top 25 for the first time since November 20th of 2011.
Not surprised. The state of Florida is a struggle right now.
Who is the best team in Florida?
Certainly not Gus.
Did they play last night?
Well, they better probably not. It's been a train wreck so far in many ways in Gus's first season. They prided themselves on potentially being the best team in Florida, but right now the problem is there's not really a good one. And
they play Memphis tonight.
As our resourceful producer Chad just told us, Memphis tonight on a Friday for Gus Malzahn and the UCF Knights. But the Florida Gators and Dan Mullen have crashed and burned lately, especially against LSU last week, and now they're on a bye before getting slaughtered by the Georgia Bulldogs next week probably. More than likely, and the Florida State Seminoles and Mike Norvell, they have gotten off the schneid, and they certainly beat the North Carolina Tar Heels a couple of weeks ago. They've gotten a couple of wins, but still it's a struggle rebuilding that program. And then Manny Diaz and the Miami Hurricanes. I mean, you're talking about a train wreck. They've from the opening of the season against Alabama, it's not been good. It's to the point where he may be fired, and I still think Hugh Freeze would be a good fit for Miami.
What about Lane Kiffin?
Yeah, but I don't see Lane Kiffin going to Miami. I mean, you never know. Lane's name's in the middle of LSU right now, and I don't see him leaving for there. But I will say I think Oxford and Ole Miss, I do think it's a good fit for him. But that's interesting. I've never really given it much thought about that. But I will say, with Miami, they're going to have to commit to the sport. I know that sounds funny, but from a facility standpoint, they've got if they hire a Hugh Freeze or a Lane Kiffin or some high-profile coach,
right,
they're going to have to commit to football and commit to.
Is that kind of where Florida State is at, though?
I think Miami may be in an even worse spot because they don't even have their own stadium.
That is true.
I don't know why they don't try to build their own stadium, but they need to upgrade their facilities, no question about it. And then when you look at Florida State, they've got Mike Norvell's been recruiting well, but they have just the instability, the end of the Jimbo Fisher era, the disastrous Willie Taggart hire. They're still trying to recover from all that.
All right, 256-576-4977. That's the number to the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. You can get in on the show. Just a few more minutes left of the show to go on as we kind of get you ready for what is going to be another week of high school football. High school basketball is getting ready to start. You got the volleyball tournament going on at the Von Braun Center, South Hall. That has been going on for the last 3 days. So be careful if you're driving around downtown. There's been a lot of extra traffic around the Von Braun Center. And we've got another busy weekend of college football and SEC football. By the way, Memphis is a 2-point favorite on the road at Gus Malzahn's Central Florida tonight. So there you have it. Memphis, a 2-point favorite over Gus Malzahn. Gus, by the way, 3-3 overall, 1-2 in the American Athletic Conference.
Somebody tell Big Cat Bryant, hey, you guys are underdogs to Memphis. Of course, he's averaging just a little over 2 tackles per game.
SMU, though, is still undefeated, by the way. They are 21st ranked in the country. They beat Tulane last night, 55-26. So SMU is 7-0, 3-0 in the American Athletic Conference. By the way, they wanted to join the Big 12, but Bob Bowlesby told them no, that they just basically weren't good enough to join the Big 12 Conference, and they went with UCF, Cincinnati, and
he'll eventually crawl back
BYU.
To them, probably. I mean, they'll probably lose another university who doesn't want to be in a crapper, and then he'll be over here whining.
Anyway, we are almost done with our Friday show, and it's been a fun week.
It has. I'm looking forward to the high school football tonight. Austin Coletti and I will be on the call. Huntsville Crimson Panthers, a lot to play for. They will be trying to reach the 7A playoffs, as trying to maybe by the end of the night have that 4 seed from 7A Region 4. We will see. But certainly the Ron White Senators can win and get in as well, so a lot at stake there. Austin also playing with some needs a little help, needs a Huntsville loss, and then they need a Huntsville win, and then they would get the tiebreaker if they could upset the Bob Jones Patriots. Let me correct myself there. But certainly the Sparkman Senators can win and get in for LaRon White, but the Crimson Panthers still very much alive if they get a win and then a Bob Jones victory over over Austin. That would get Huntsville in with the 4 seed. So there's a lot to play for. And then Bob Godsey's Madison Academy Mustangs going for a 4A Region 7 perfect slate against the JP2 Falcons. You'll hear Glenn Laird and Steve Moulton on the call. But Huntsville, to clarify, if Huntsville wins and then Bob Jones beats Austin, Huntsville is the 4 seed. But if Huntsville were able to win and then Austin upsets Bob Jones, Austin would be the 4 seed. But Sparkman is the one that controls their own fate. If they win tonight over in Harvest as they host Huntsville, they will be the 4 seed. But again, and that 4 seed would either travel to Thompson or Hoover. That's a huge game tonight in 7A Region 3. That will decide that championship with both those teams being unbeaten.
All right, you know what? One game that we have not mentioned on the college level that usually draws a lot of attention, USC and Notre Dame playing this weekend. That just tells you how different both programs are right now, where we don't even mention USC Notre Dame. I mean, it used to mean a lot on the national landscape.
It did, but neither one of them is going to the playoff this year, in my opinion. So that's why it doesn't mean as much. USC, of course, currently with an interim head coach, and we'll see who they hire. Could it be a James Franklin? We'll see who will be the next head football coach of the USC Trojans. But I also wanted to make another correction. The Madison Academy Mustangs, we always visit with Coach Bob Godsey. Of course, he'd probably think this is rat poison. But the Mustangs have now moved up to number 1 in the 4A poll in the state of Alabama, and so we wanted to correct that. They've been number 2 for several weeks, but now the newly minted number 1 team in 4A, and again, they'll take that number 1 ranking at home and put it on the line against Joe Ross and the JP2 Falcons tonight.
All right, make sure you download the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app. Just search for 97.7 ESPN The Zone in your app store or your Google Marketplace store so you can take us all weekend long wherever you need to go. That does include Friday Night Football tonight. You got Madison Academy and JP2 on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, Huntsville and Sparkman on Zone 2. And then at 9:30, the North Alabama High School Football Scoreboard Show will be underway, and then we will hit the airwaves on 97.7 ESPN The Zone as soon as the Madison Academy JP2 game is over. And then tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, you get Alabama and Tennessee, Bryant-Denny Stadium. The streak does not stop. I am pretty confident to say the streak does not stop. Alabama does not lose to Tennessee this weekend.
I believe it's going to reach 15, no doubt about that. I think Alabama's the better team in all 3 phases, really. Offense, defense, and special teams. It's a mindset game. We just have to take care of that. But remember, we will join the Crimson Tide Sports Network at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Before that will be the Game Day Tailgate with myself and Steve Moulton, so be sure to tune in for that. We're always excited to preview the University of Alabama. And we want to thank Bob Godsey. We want to thank Mark Fleetwood and our callers this morning. It's been another great week of Talkin Ball.
All right, guys, WZZN half-off deal. Best half-off deals in the Tennessee Valley. $55 will get you a round of golf for 2 and a card at Gunner's Landing. Make sure you visit that right now. And we'll be back at it Monday morning. We're going to be live from Bill Penny Toyota on Monday. That'll be your good, the bad, the ugly on Monday. Don't forget, full slate of stuff on Friday. We'll be back at it, guys. Have a good and peaceful weekend.
Hi, everybody. Eli Gold here. Right now, indoor air quality occupies top-of-mind awareness for families and businesses.